takes care of Shaquille O'Neal?
Nobody. Take care of myself. Like I caught flack one time. I was on this young lady's podcast and she said, do you express your emotion to your woman? I said, no. Why would I do that? Oh, and they tried to kill me. But I don't. And the reason why, because as a man, you are to protect, provide, and love. And women are emotional and caring. So if I'm telling her I have a bad day, now it's two people with bad days. I don't tell my woman I'm having a bad day. How's your day? Oh, I'm good, baby. I got to take care of it. Because if you put stress on her, she's going to put it right back on you. Because it's our job to protect, provide, and love. But people, oh, you need it. No, I don't do that. I take care of everything, and that's just how it's going to be. And you know why I'm like that? Because it's worked for me. It's worked for me. So I'm not going to meet somebody now and be like, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh, I seen this clip of Shaquille O'Neal. So I seen this clip. I don't need these no more. I seen a clip of Shaquille O'Neal talking about that everybody depends on him, and he can't depend on nobody else. Everybody depends on him, and it hurt. And believe it or not, and check out the Real One-on-One playlist. Believe it or not, most men go through that, bro. And a lot of the dudes, they crying in silence. I remember Corey Holcomb talking about when his dog died, and he couldn't cry in front of his wife and his kids or whoever. And he waited to be in solitude, or be by himself to actually shed the tears for his dog. Because a lot of these women, they'll see you cry, they'll see a moment of weakness, and it's an automatic turnoff. I remember it was a UFC fighter. And her boyfriend fought in the UFC as well too, I believe. And she said the way he got knocked out and his arms fell out in the octagon in a real fight on TV, said she lost attraction for him. You know what I'm saying? And you know what happened when they say they lose attraction for you? They lost respect for you. So just being a man, you gotta be perfect. And really, it ain't nobody that you can really count on. You the ultimate fallback guy. Everybody, bring you their problems, bring you their financial problems. Everybody counting on you when something go wrong. And especially if you got daughters and they don't got boyfriends or husbands, you know what I'm saying? Your son's counting on you, your mother counting on you, your grandmother, depending on where you at, like he'll be counting on you. So think about that, and people be like, well, Shaq, Shawnee said she never loved him. Do you think, and he saved Shawnee and she was a single mother. She should always be in be in debt to Shaq. She shouldn't have shit bad to say about Shaq, especially if the hoe gonna keep the name. But this is why most men celebrate themselves. This is why Shaq is gonna always, keep him a bad bitches with him. This is why Shaq gonna always buy what Shaq want. And that's how men supplement that. But, if you're in a relationship or, some of these women you be with, they get jealous when you do something nice for yourself. When you get a new car, they get jealous. When you buy a new game, they get jealous. When you want to go on a solo vacation, they get jealous. When you want to just be in your man cave and watch the game and not be bothered, and you want to be peaceful, they get jealous. They have a problem with that. Even in your own house, when you just want to prop up, you pay all the bills, you do everything, you want to smoke a cigar, drink a little yak or whatever you do, and just watch the game and not have to worry about nothing. Not have to worry about nothing. And that be some problem. Oh, you don't never do this and do that. You pay all the bills. And then they wonder why dudes go to the bar, they hang out at the strip club, and they cheat. Well, a lot of women create an environment that's hostile. That's hostile. So every time he come home, he just can't just chill. And that's why I always tell dudes, put yourself first. I've been saying that since I started this channel, man. A lot of the times you got to put yourself first, because ain't nobody putting you first, second, or third. Let alone is you making it to home. So that's a lot of things what dudes struggle with behind the scenes. And when women now demanding saying they don't want marriage, I mean, that's a win for men. That's a win for the men. So you ain't got to get suckered into marriage, or you get forced into marriage, especially to a woman that probably really ain't for you. And you can just, live your life. But I tell dudes that all the time, man. You don't do things for yourself. You get hating ass comments. Oh, you selfish, or why you didn't do this for me? You get those comments. It's not always about you. Women be wanting to have main character syndrome. Mothers, girlfriends, sisters. It's not about you. And I love when Snoop Dogg did that when he got the Hall of Fame walk. He said, I want to thank me. You know, he said, I want to thank me for waking up, me for putting the hard work, my talent. I want to thank me. And most men and brothers should do that. Because them times where you feel like don't nobody love you, you got to compartmentalize your feelings and your thoughts. You got to hold your tongue for the kids. You got to hold the cum for your mother, for your girlfriend. You really can't say what the fuck need to be said, because then again, you become vilified. A lot of guys can't tell nobody the truth around them. And you holding all this shit in. And this is why you see a lot of dudes just get an apartment or a condo or a nice size, small, single family home, and they just be cool. They the happiest. You might see them and they might just be stoic, but they the happiest they ever been. Because people don't understand, when the more people you add to your life, the more responsibility in this day and age people dump on you. A lot of dudes scared to answer their phone because, oh, can I borrow some money? It's, oh, how you doing? And then before you hang up, it's, can I borrow some money? Or I need you to come do this. I need you to do that. And then at the end of the day, there's no real benefit to it. Them very same people that you'll go out your way and help, or the service wasn't good enough. And I ain't charge you shit. Or you getting out your bed and somebody needs some help in the middle of the night, you come do that, and these the same people who will talk bad about you. Oh, he didn't do this, or he wasn't there for me, and he this, that, and you just like, what? You know, same thing. You know, you do good to your wife or your baby mother or your girl, be good to them, but behind your back, you ain't shit. Because she asked you for $250, you just gave her $500, but you ain't shit. So you got to treat yourself. If you don't treat yourself and prioritize yourself as a man, nobody else will. Nobody else will. That's a fact. Nobody else will. But all of us have these moments the moments that he had on camera. Every dude had moments like that. You in it by yourself. That's what it feels like. You in it by yourself. I remember Jizza, he had a song. One of my favorite songs by him, and it was on Liquid Swords. It was called I Got Your Back. You know, beat is dope. The whole song is dope. He said it's like being trapped in a deadly video game with only one man. That's what it's like being a productive man. It's like being trapped in a video game with only one man. If you slip up, you back to those Buck Rogers years in my Jeezy voice. That's what it's like. No allies to confine to. No real outlet. That's why a lot of guys, they turn to cigars, alcohol. You know, my form of releases, I tend to like to go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? But I feel Shaq on that. Every man had that moment. When you come to the realization that nobody care, nobody gonna save you, you know, until you sick and on your deathbed is when you get a credit. That's why I tell dudes, make sure you put yourself number one. I said this on my video the other day. I used to work with a guy, man. He was solid. They ain't like him. A lot of people that work with him didn't like him, but we spoke the same language because he kept it real. And I always appreciated how straight shooter this dude was. You know, he kept it real with you. He was a straight shooter. A lot of people, they don't want the truth. Even though it hurt, I can appreciate the transparency. And I remember he said, every time we get a new car, I give it to my wife and I drive the old one. I'm just like, hell the fuck no. Hell no. I ain't work this hard, bro. I ain't work as hard as I got. And I don't mind looking out doing it, but I ain't work as hard to always be second rate. And I'm the motherfucking man around this bitch. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't worked this hard. And I'm supposed to just make the most, take less. hold back my honesty, hold back the alpha in me, hold back my masculinity, hold my tongue. When a daughter go out wearing shit she ain't supposed to, or got a boyfriend with, I'm supposed to hold my, I can't even be the leader of my fucking, my team or my household, and I'm a man, bullshit. This is why I set strong boundaries with people, bro. Real strong boundaries. And if you violate them, I don't give a fuck. You got to go. You got to go. I don't mind being by myself. It's so peaceful. I don't mind it. But hey, appreciate y'all. Check out the Real 101 playlist. Peace.